Steve and Jill here.
Hi there.
Welcome to the House Academy Show, entertaining real estate investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about taking a personality test. What do you think this is really about, Jill?
I think this is how I took it, and I've got a few questions here I'm going to ask. So, to me, this is about the personality test that will help you decide if this is something for you. If you should be in the house flipping world in some way.
All right, I'm going to take it with everybody.
Okay.
And chances are I'm going to score lower than most of the listeners.
This is really good.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the houseacademy.com online community. It's free.
Stanley asks, how do you finance your house deals?
We finance our house deals in one of the following ways. Self-funded. By the way, we almost always, in fact, I can't remember a time when we didn't actually close on it. So we are wholesalers, but we buy the property and resell it.
Right.
We take title to it. We either buy it ourselves, we buy it with another partner in our group, or we, if it's a really smoking deal and it's like involves subdividing or development, we syndicate it out into our group, into our closed group, not to the public by any stretch, and raise capital to do some project like that.
Thank you.
We're doing that right now in a small apartment building that we will resell immediately when it's done.
Thank you. And I would encourage you, listener, to do all or some versions of that. In addition to, you can roll in things like House Academy deal funding because it's a thing. We're doing it.
Yeah, if you go to House Academy, we have multiple deals that we review all the time. Jill's reviewing a bunch right now, right after the show. Mm-hmm. If you go to houseacademy.com and click on somewhere in the tools, I think it is, you'll see get funded or deal funding, and just fill out the form if you have a good deal. It's got to be a good deal.
And it's got to be locked in.
Yeah.
It's got to be done, not just a theoretic deal, nothing that you just found online. It's like you did mailers, you did all the right thing. Hey guys, this is $50,000 below what it should be. Yeah. I need the cash to do it. That's what and I've got a signed purchase agreement staring at me. That's what you submit.
We do tons and tons of these deals. And it's one of the big, I guess we don't talk about it enough. One of the huge benefits to being a member is to be able to you don't have to start with any money.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that enough.
That's true. Thank you.
Here's sometimes this is what happens. I got to get some, blow some steam off.
Okay.
Every once in a while, some person will leave out the adjectives, looks up a bunch of property on the MLS, says, here's these 6 properties. I can buy them for X, which is the MLS listing price.
Right.
Because I have nothing to lose because you're going to fund 100% of this. Let's just see how stupid Steve and Jill are.
And then we go, no, thank you.
And then we're done forever.
Yeah.
Consider the bridge burned.
Don't do that.
Because the rest of the financing world asks you to put 20% down, 30% down, 40% down, or pay points up front. The whole hard money lending business, we despise it as much as you do. Mm-hmm. And so we want to get away from that. But there's always one guy.
It's got to be a good deal.
There's always one guy that just decides they're going to try to burn it down.
Thank you.
That's her way of saying, dude, move on.
Move on.
Today's topic, take this personality test. This is why you're listening.
Okay. Who's going to be successful doing this? All right. I would like to think that's why you're listening. And so I developed a few questions that I'm going to ask Stephen first, and you can follow along and take this quiz at home.
I'm concerned.
It's ought to be good.
What if I don't pass?
Well, let's see how you do. They're numbered 1 to 5. Okay, ready? Here we go. Number 1. Do you break out in a cold sweat when you hear the word data?
No. Quite the opposite. I drop what I'm doing.
Thank you. Do you want to elaborate on that?
I love data. I think this is that's why we're all here.
Thank you.
We're all here because these data-driven acquisitions that I generate and Jill closes. So, no, I always, when there's some piece of the puzzle that's missing in anything that we do with these businesses, these subscription businesses we have, these SaaS real estate models that we have, the buying and selling of the real estate itself and all that, when there's something like I don't know the answer to, I stop what I'm doing and I intensely search online. I have like what I call a research session online to find out if there's some way I can buy the data to solve this and take all the mystery out of it. Like People have asked me my whole life, "What? That's so risky buying and selling houses. How do you do that all day?" There's no risk in this. There's no risk. I don't see any risk. It's like zero risk. So no. You asked me to elaborate. I can keep going.
That was good. No, I have 4 more questions. This is good, but this is what we're going to ask a question. You answer, and then we'll both talk about it.
How about, can I ask you that question? Does data freak you out?
No.
Okay, good.
No. I get excited about different data, but it doesn't scare me. No. Okay, so question number 2. Do you think Excel is a form of migraine medicine?
Like Excedrin? So in other words, do you know what the hell Excel is?
Exactly.
It's hilarious. You sit there feverishly writing this stuff before the show.
did.
I'm like, what is she writing? And then she's laughing. Now I know.
All right, here you go. Oh, wait a minute. I think that needs no explanation. So, you listeners, you know how you answered that.
So hold on. We're taking a personality test about real estate flipping.
Right?
First question involves data, and the second question involves a computer software program.
Yep. I'll get
When do we
more.
get to the real estate?
Oh, it's coming.
Oh, maybe the real estate doesn't even matter. It's
This is
all about
true.
data.
It's kind of true. I have a few other things that are important, but you are on the right path. You ready for number 3?
Yeah.
Okay, number 3 is your idea of high-tech upgrading going from your old Motorola to a jitterbug flip phone?
I know what you're getting at here.
High-tech? That's what you think is high-tech. You got rid of the Motorola, and now you have a jitterbug.
I don't even know what a jitterbug is.
I had to look it up. I'm like, okay, what could somebody be walking around with that they think this is high-tech in their pocket that could do what they need to do and access what they need to access when they're out in the field, or the call just comes in and they need to really look at stuff. You got to have the right tools.
Yeah.
And I mean, not even just not just the mental tools and the software tools, but you kind of need a few physical tools also. I will be honest. We're always out. We're at
Always.
lunch. At lunch, I'm looking like, hold on a minute, let me get in a parcel fact.
Yeah.
Or hey, let me look at this.
Always.
It's
If we go
constant.
anywhere in the car, and I mean to a grocery store, one of us is driving,
Yeah.
and the other person has either the phone or a tablet, looking at parcel fact as we're driving, and finding out what dirt is around us, or not dirt and houses, and what it's worth.
Right. Exactly. Thank you.
Am I saying you should do that? No, but that's just in our soul.
Yep. Okay, question number 4. Is your idea of running your own business involve Venmo?
Venmo?
Do you know what that is?
No.
You know what's so great about that? There's a reason why you're like, what the heck is that? Or what is that? Because Stephen, your data and knowledge and tech and industry and what you do is up here. And not everyone's up there. And I'm just kind of pointing out, stating the obvious, really. If you want to be successful at this is stuff you got to know. Not only do you not deal with Venmo, you need to know how to set up your own, in some situations, a credit card checkout system on your website.
Yeah.
And if that hurts and you don't think that's even possible, I'm here to tell you, A, it's possible. And B, you need to be thinking about this stuff.
I just got out of a meeting where we're self-developing a SQL application, a web-enabled SQL application to do some amazing stuff. The long story short, this is what it is. We always have deals coming in. We want people in House Academy to be a part of this SQL application so we can send them deals so they can complete it and we can split it.
Right.
That's what I'm involved in.
I love it.
What is Venmo?
It's a payment system. I think I did it once through your phone. You can kind of put in your account and send money. I think I did it once for a washer and dryer like years ago, maybe a year ago, because that was the way the person was able to take payment. I'm like,
So it's PayPal, but
I
not.
used it one time. That was it. It's like
What's the difference between that and PayPal?
it's easier. I think it's just a little app. It's a pretty little app.
It's pretty.
It's a pretty little app. It
You
doesn't
answered my
involve that
question.
much. You're welcome.
You haven't gotten any real estate questions
Nope.
yet.
No, you noticed that? Okay, here's the 5th and final question. Do you approach all of your buyers and sellers as someone you would date?
Absolutely not.
Okay,
Absolutely not. I have completely different criteria.
thank you. Well, for 2 reasons. One, the obvious. And two, my point on this one is here, just like these people, you want to get to know them, but not that much.
It's the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Thank you.
It's like a perfect marriage.
Thank you.
I'd like to get to know her, but not that much. I don't need to know everything.
Yeah. And then number two is you need to look at these transactions like that too. You need to be thinking of these as a line item. It's really true. When you're dealing with assets and whether or not you're going to buy it, you can't see if you live there. Who flipping cares? You need to think
It
about
has nothing to do with you.
Right? You need to think about the general public.
Yeah.
And you think about, and it's funny because I'm dealing with this right now. We just talked about House Academy deal funding. Offers come in, and I'm looking at them like they're a line item. And I don't think the person who presented this one to me recently is thinking that way because I'm having to reply back with some of the basic questions that I don't think they thought about. All I think they see is how pretty is it?
That's what I think.
And I'm like,
That
it's
was my
not about
question.
how pretty it is.
That was my question
I need
to
to know.
you.
I need to know the numbers. I could care less. I don't know if it's yellow or green or purple. I don't need to know that.
Amen, sister.
So it's a line item.
I need to know that it's $20 to $50 per square foot less than the surrounding houses.
There you go.
And then I'm going to look at the asset and see if it's ready to explode.
Yeah.
If it's not, it hasn't been on fire, ready to explode, I'm in.
There you go.
And that's, I don't care what the inside looks like. And I think
Yeah.
you lose, 80% of the house flipping crew, the house flipping environment out there. I think you lose probably 80% of them because of this topic. Because they look at the asset before they look at the numbers.
Right.
And they have a feeling.
Exactly.
And they have a good feeling or a good or a bad feeling
Exactly.
instead of
Thank
just
you.
doing math.
Exactly. That's my personality test. Let's hang on a minute. Let me add up your score here, Stephen. Guess what? You got 100%. You scored 5 out of 5. That, let me see, wait, just like Cosmo, let me turn the page. That makes you, an expert in your field and a top dating contender.
Like
wait,
Cosmo?
like Cosmo, 5 out of 5. That means you are an expert in your field. Oh, and good in the sack. That's what, there we go.
Does it really work like that?
Yes, that's exactly how those dumb tests go.
Do you ever sit around and read that ever?
Not anymore. Used to.
Like when?
Oh my
10
gosh,
years
10
ago?
years ago. Yeah. Exactly.
Wow, we should have an exam test like that.
Okay.
Half the people who started listening aren't listening
They're
anymore.
gone.
Yeah.
Speaking of going dark. All right.
Hey, well, we know your time's valuable. Thanks for spending some of it with us today. Join us next time for the episode called Appointment Setting.
And we answer your questions. Post on our online community at houseacademy.com. It is free.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition. Some classic stuff, Joe.
Thank you. These are actually these topics were kind of sometimes I like your topics when they're real specific. So I know, all right, I know exactly what we're going to talk about today. And then some of these topics, like a few this week, they were pretty open. I'm like, oh, I could take this however I want. And now I'm having fun with it.
I'm going to ask you a co-host personal question. Ready?
Ready.
Do you think it's easier or harder or the same to do this show as the Land Academy show?
Easier.
I think this is harder.
Oh, interesting.
Here's why.
Go.
Buying houses is so simple, it's silly. There's like 6 things to do.
That's why I think it's easier.
So doing the show is easier?
Yeah.
There's not as much stuff to talk about. That's why we come up with these silly games.
That's what makes it fun. That's why it's easier for me. Fun for
Buying
me.
land is, there's so much more to it.
True.
But you can, you have the opportunity to knock it out of the park.
There's so much to talk about.
Houses, it's so easy to make $20,000 to $30,000 per unit. Just banging pricing and stuff. Forget it. It's so easy.
You know
But that's
what?
just how I see
But
it.
we're just peeling back the layers of the onion. There's going to be a lot to talk about. I have no doubt we're going to have show 1000 before we know it
Yeah,
on House
I'm
Academy
sure too.
too. So hang in there.
Yeah.
Wherever you're listening or wherever you're watching, please subscribe and rate us there. We
We're
are
Steve and
Jill.
Jill. Information
An inspiration.
to buy undervalued property.